All right, let's try this again. See how we're looking. Now it's working. All right, very good. We're back in business. All right, let me separate these windows so I could have both open at the same time. Oh no. There we go. Let me switch this one. There we go. All right, so YouTube is good and TikTok is good. All right, we are back in business. Uh, so sorry about that, TikTok, and welcome to everybody on YouTube. I am Mohammed, the Egyptian cook, and I am coming to you live from my computer desk. This is take 2 for YouTube because the first time I went live on YouTube, just moments ago, about like 15, 20 minutes ago, I guess I set it for a schedule for a later time, and I did not know that you could do that for a live. But now we are live, so I am live on YouTube and I am live on TikTok. This is essentially an open conversation. So you guys comment and I will answer. And let's keep the conversation going. All right, let me catch up on YouTube here. A lot of comments came in while I was trying to get myself situated back on YouTube. Let's see. Another person is looking for my pickled lemon recipe and I was unable to find it. What subcategory is it under? So I don't have any subcategories on my TikTok. So it should be right there on my homepage. It's in the third row and you can't miss it. I'm holding like a close up of the of one of the lemons like sliced in half, and at the top of the thumbnail it says pickled lemon. And if you still cannot find it, just send me a DM and I'm more than happy to send you the direct link if that makes it easier for you. Shams is saying, my husband cooks from your channel. That is awesome. What has been your husband's favorite recipe that he's tried from my channel? Okay, on my website, did I not post the pickled lemons recipe? Did I? Because if it is on my website, I can't even think right now about my subcategories. Give me 1 second. I'm going over to there. It would be under sides. Let's see. Is it under sides? Nope. That is where it would be. So I have not posted it to my website. I will definitely do that and have that done within the next few days. But the video is on my on all my social media platforms. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. Quick shout out to my top 3 viewers right now on TikTok, Lauren, Kareem, and Karen. Thank you to all 3 of you for being my top 3 viewers on TikTok as we speak. I appreciate you. Do I have a food and tahina sauce recipe? Yes, I do. I posted it about a year ago. I know for a fact that that one is on my website, which is linked in my bio, theegyptiancook.com. And to find the food, so once you head over to my website, at the very top, you're going to see the home tab, the recipes tab, the shop tab, etc. So click on recipes, and then you will find the food recipe under, you will find it under street foods, and then you will also find it under the vegan tab because my food recipe is vegan. I mean, food should be vegan. to begin with anyways. So you will find it under those two tabs, either street foods or vegan. Let's see what else. Can I make a Gazan style chicken? It's spicy and dry rub. I'm not familiar with that. I would have to look that up. Let's look that up. Chicken feta recipe. Okay. Kazan chicken feta ingredients. So everything that's coming up right now from a Palestinian roast chicken recipe from Yasmin Khan's. So what's coming up on from my search that I'm doing right now is it's all coming up as like a Gazan style chicken feta. So with ruz, with like the ruz and the aish and bread. Is that what you were referring to, Lauren, for that? If not, if you have a recipe that you have in mind, go ahead and send DM it to me. That way I could have a better point of reference. User 645 is asking what's my name. My name is Muhammad. Muhammad Al Gamal is my name. So Lauren is saying they use lamb. I'll DM you the spicy one. Okay. If you send me the DM, do it either on my Instagram or my WhatsApp. Those are the two best ways to get in contact with me. Thank you, Soso Bobo, if I'm saying that right, for sharing the live. I appreciate you. And for those of you like Mr. Show, so I can speak a little bit of Arabic, but my reading for Arabic still needs a lot of work. So in order for me to give you like proper responses, if you are able to, I could even here, let me open up a reader for me and I could do that as well too. But reading Arabic is still something, like the reading and writing part is something that, that I need to work on. Kaliko Kitten is saying Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. Do you do the cooking in your family? I think you meant to say like for your family, for my family. So like 99% of my recipe videos that you see, it's essentially just me. I do live by myself. So any of the cooking that I do, whether it's for food or a drink or whatever the case is, I am the one who is doing the cooking and the eating and all of that, all aspects of it. Where is the tahina sauce? I found the food. I don't see a basbousa recipe. Basbousa is on there. I did make basbousa before, but it turned out good, but like it still needs a little bit more work. I do have a different, like a separate video for tahina sauce, but I also have in like in some of the foods that I've made, Like with making hawashi, for example, um, I have like a hawashi recipe where I include how to make tahina sauce as well. If you're referring to my website, let's go on there really quick and see if I have it separately. For the tahina sauce. Oops, that one's soups, not sides. Garlic dip, hummus. Yeah, tahina sauce is under, if you're on my website, the tahina sauce recipe video is under the sides tab. You'll have to scroll a little bit down. It's going to be after the pickled eggplant and the mish. You'll see the title is Tahina Sauce Recipe, a creamy vegan dip for Egyptian delights. That's the title. All right, switching over to YouTube for a moment here. Let's see. Kaliso, if I pronounced your username properly, hey, my favorite Egyptian chef. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for commenting in on YouTube. I appreciate you. And welcome to my live. And then who else we got? Captain America shield. Photo is saying Captain America shield is so cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. From the Marvel side of superheroes, Captain America is my favorite superhero. From the DC side of superheroes, Batman is my favorite. And I'm not a little biased, but pretty biased when it comes to Batman. I see Batman beating a lot of people when it comes to one-on-one fights. I said what I said. Let's see, what else are people saying in here? Bro, can you speak of Egyptian language? I do speak Arabic, but my Arabic العربي بتاعي مكسر عشان أنا مولود هنا في أمريكا. فأول لغة اللي أنا علمت لغة إنجليزي. So basically what I just said in Arabic is I do speak Arabic, but my Arabic is broken. I'm giving you the literal translation. So my Arabic is broken because I was born here in the USA and my first language was English. All pretty things is saying thank you. We'll look under sides. You're welcome. And if you ever are looking for any type of recipe, you can easily just send me a DM either on Instagram or WhatsApp. Those are the two best ways to get in contact with me. And I'm more than happy to send you the links to any of your requests. Let's see. No need to get confrontational in the comment section. Didn't you just hear him say he speaks a little bit of Arabic? You are brutal. No need. Let's try to keep things positive here, people. Also, can I make a mahshi cheese? What? Or are you referring to Mish cheese? Mish cheese, it's pinned at the top of my TikTok page. You cannot miss it. If you're referring to Mish cheese, it's literally the first video pinned at the top of my TikTok page. It says Mish cheese. I misread it because you spelled it M-A-S-H. So I first initially read it as mahshi because I confused the question mark at the end. So I was like, what? Mahshi cheese? Like, what is that? But if you're referring to Mish cheese, yes, I just posted it like a few weeks ago, and on TikTok it is pinned at the top of my page, and on my YouTube it's also pinned to my YouTube homepage as we speak. Let's check in with YouTube, see what's going on. All right. Let's see. Also, that's the same comment I just read. All right. Calico Kitten was is asking where were you in Cairo in September? I swear I saw you at the spice market for or it was your twin. So I do not have a twin unless somebody is pretending to be me. I was not in Egypt in September. I was there in November. So 2 months later. It's okay though. And thank you, Tima, for sending the goat. I'm just seeing that now. I apologize if I did not announce it right when it happened, but thank you for that. Not sure why Karen is apologizing, then saying, yes, I think I must have missed something. And then Karen's continuing to say, okay, I just happened by here and remembered it. I love that cheese. Oh, you asked about the Mish cheese. Is that what you're apologizing for? If so, it's no big deal. It's just I misread it and I was thinking of mashy cheese. And I'm like, what is mashy cheese? It is what it is though. It made for a fun mistake. Mish cheese is really, really, really good. But for the Mish cheese that I made it from scratch. Not the cheese itself, but the khamira that that essentially hold the cheese that the cheese ferments in. So next year, March will be a continuation of that recipe that is currently pinned to the top of my TikTok and YouTube page. So that continuation will essentially be where I open up the jar and I cut out a piece of the Mish cheese that has been fermenting in there for a year, and I will show you how to prepare it. And then the best part, I will eat it. And it will actually be so the Mish cheese will be a video um, that I plan to do each and every single year using from that same jar. So each year I'll eat another piece out of it. I'll prepare it in a different manner, and then I will add more cheese to it if need be. You haven't had Mish cheese in about 20 years. Oh my goodness, it's 20 years is too long to go without Mish, but 20 years would be amazing if you did have Mish, just fermenting for 20 years in the jar. Oh my goodness, it would be out of this world good. Hmm. Let's see, what else are people saying? Mish with honey is great at breakfast with a tea. Mish with honey, really? I've never mixed the two together. Anytime I've had mish, like I've done mish with tomatoes, like diced tomatoes. I've done it with jalapenos, olive oil. Um, I've never done it with honey in it. Sometimes I have put tahina in it, um, but I've never done it with honey. I'm open to try it, that's for sure. Thank you, Karen, for looking at my recipes. I appreciate you. Thank you, Hassan, for sharing the live. Hassan is saying, sending big love from one Egyptian to another. Thank you, Hassan. Appreciate you. Oops. What just happened here? Hot Rod loves my videos. Thank you, Hot Rod. I love your comment. Isaiah is saying, I tried your pickled eggs and they were amazing. I'm obsessed. Oh my goodness, you've been with me for a while then, because I think I made the pickled eggs like, it's definitely been over a year. Oh my goodness. Now I want to know when I made these pickled eggs. Let's see here. Shorts. Oh, it's been a long time since. Okay, I found the video here. Let's see what the date is. Description. March 25th, 2023. That's when I posted the video on YouTube. Holy F. So Isaiah, you've been with me for a while. Thank you. I appreciate you. It's pretty awesome. And funny enough, on my YouTube, so YouTube will give you like video analytics that they update each and every day, and they'll tell you like what your top 3 videos are for the past 48 hours. And pickled eggs, especially like on the days where I'm not uploading new content. When I'm uploading new content, then my new content is my top for like those 48-hour time span. But then if I go a couple days without uploading any new content, then somehow, some way, pickled eggs makes its way to the top 3 videos that people are searching. So thank you, Isaiah, for being with me for the past few years. Appreciate you. Karen is saying, before I was asking about another food I had in Michigan, but it was Chaldean, meaty plate shaped. There is a large Chaldean population in Michigan, but I'm not familiar with what dish you are referring to. Riza is asking, what's my favorite dish? If we're talking Egyptian food, it's definitely molokhia, without question. Hands down, it's molokhia 10 times out of 10 every single time. But like the molokhia, it has to be like really thick. It has to be thick, and it has to be heavy on the garlic, on the fried garlic. No exceptions. Switching over to YouTube for a moment here. Jim is saying, I'm making shawarma based off of your video right now. Jim, that is awesome. If you are on like any other social media platforms, like Instagram especially, and you take a picture of it, or tag it to your story, or post it to your story, I should say, and tag me to it, I will be more than happy to reshare it to my story. And that goes for everybody else as well. If you ever make a any type of dish based off of a recipe video that I have shared, and if you post it to your social medias, especially on Instagram, I will reshare it to my social medias, to my Instagram, I should say, if you tag me to it. So thank you, Jim, and I look forward to finding out the result when you finish. How far along are you in making it? Let me know. So I'm also streaming on I'm currently streaming on TikTok and on YouTube. TikTok and YouTube. In the future, when I improve my setup, I'll start going live on Instagram as well, and Facebook. But I still need to learn on a way where I could do it from one camera, rather than having like multiple phones, because that's how I'm currently doing it right now. Like I have one phone for TikTok and one for YouTube. In the future, I would want to be able to go live on all social media platforms, but I don't want to have 4, 5, 6, 7 different phones set up all at different angles just to accommodate, one thing that I'm doing. If that's my only way of doing it, then so be it. But if there's one way if there is a method that I could do it only using like one camera, for example, where everybody is getting the exact same point of view, I think that would be much better, because then it would eliminate me having to look like right now I'm looking at TikTok, and then now I'm looking at YouTube, and as I'm looking at the other, then it's not giving my attention to each platform equally, if that makes sense. So yeah, so as we speak right now, TikTok and YouTube. Sanella is saying, I made Egyptian goulash and it was pretty good also. Yes, Egyptian goulash is one of my favorites. It's also been one of my top videos. Uh, it's one of my favorites to make as well and to eat. And it's also like anytime I make it for family and friends, it's definitely like one of the first things um, to go right away, because of just how incredibly amazing and good it is. So for those of you who do not know, Egyptian goulash is a phyllo meat pie. So we use the phyllo dough sheets, which is the same. The phyllo dough sheets is what's also used for making balawa or baklava, and you layer it with a lot of butter, melted butter, and then in the middle you add the lahma. In this case, it's ground. You can use ground beef or ground lamb or a mixture of the two. Um, and then you do the second half, the top layer of the remaining, the second half of the phyllo dough, as you're brushing it with the melted butter. Then you pour an egg wash on top, and you bake it all in the oven. And then the result is the outer layers of the phyllo dough become golden brown and crispy, while the inside is the lahma. But then the layers of the phyllo dough sheets that are closest to the lahma become very soft and savory as well, because of the flavors from the lahma, and it's just out of this world good. It's melt in your mouth good. If you are on any type of diet, uh, Egyptian style goulash is something that you put your diet on hold because of just how amazing it is. When you see Egyptian goulash, you're not thinking about your diet anymore. That's for sure. You'll be thinking about your diet afterwards for all the makeup you're going to have to do. Amanda is saying hi. Welcome, Amanda. Welcome to my live. And I do have on TikTok, at least, my Egyptian goulash recipe video is pinned to the top of my TikTok page. All right, I'm switching over to YouTube to catch up on some of these comments. Jim is saying will do with the update for the chicken shawarma, which is awesome. Almost done, actually. I'm super excited for this. Photo is asking favorite preschool show. Favorite preschool show? I don't know. I used to watch Power Rangers a lot. Like a lot. Like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. If you know, you know. Um, yeah, but my parents would find it, they would say it's too violent for me to watch. So I would actually have to, you know, sneak around and and at the time we had a TV in the family room, and then there was a TV in my parents' bedroom. So and there was a TV in the basement. So I would have to like sneak around. I definitely couldn't go in the TV like in the family room because it was open. The family room was open to the kitchen and dining room area. So my only options were my parents' bedroom or the basement. But if I was in the basement for too long, especially during school, that it would be too questionable. So like my best option would be um, my parents' bedroom. So I would go in there and I would just turn the volume like really, 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 really low, and I would watch the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. hmm Photo is saying Gorat is better than Goulash. I don't know. Those are fighting words. Those are those are fighting words. Goulash, can stand on its own 2 feet. I don't know. Let's see. Let's switch back over to TikTok. Let's see what's going on over here. Oh boy. Amanda is a massive fan. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you. And thank you for commenting as well. Let's see. Uh, H9 is saying, so annoying that you're not looking directly at the camera, but I love your cooking. I apologize about that. Even if I have my phone set up right in front of me, in order for me to read the comments, I do have to look up at my computer screen in order to see what is commenting, what people are commenting. So regardless of how I set up, like especially when it comes to like the reading of the comments, there's no way for me to be able to directly look at it at the screen because of the fact of my vision disability. Let's see. Sanila is saying, I've been with you since the beginning also. Thank you, Sanila. I appreciate you. Let's see. Uh, Buddy64 is saying, I like your recipe videos, by the way. My name is Timothy. Welcome, Timothy. I appreciate you. When I read your username, Buddy64, for whatever reason, I thought of the Nintendo 64. Let's see. Time to go cook dinner. I wish it was meshed. Karen, what if you're still with us? If you haven't, what are you going to make for dinner? Sanila is saying, um, originally from Bosnia. Okay, very cool. So you're currently in Canada, but originally from Bosnia. It's always exciting for me to know. So what was it? Last week for Eid, I posted to my story. Um, posted a story of the kahk that I made, and I wrote um, in the like call to action where you can ask me something, but I changed it. Instead of ask me something, I wrote Eid Mubarak. Let me know where in the world you are celebrating Eid, and like people would respond to that story. So it was really wild to me, like all the different countries that people uh, were tuning in from, like on my Instagram and my social medias in general. So there were a lot of so I didn't have anybody from Bosnia that responded. I did have Canada. I did have Netherlands, Sweden. I had Brazil. I had Egypt. I had Saudi, um, Australia, Germany, the United Kingdom. Where else? Just a lot of Nigeria. So like a lot of places, like all over the world, people responded. So I thought that was pretty cool that that my recipe vids have made it so far, like across the have reached so many people across the world. So it's always good to hear. Frank, what is Frank saying? He looks stressed. Khalas, relax. It's a TikTok live. Not that deep, bro. LOL. All right, time out. Time out, Frank. All right. If you're going to khalas me, you got to include the okay. It's not khalas, it's okay khalas. Okay. And you got to do the hand, like the hand wave, like how I do. I'll be going about my business, doing whatever it is. And then, I'll comment whatever somebody's complaining about, from the many complaints that I get. And then when I say, okay, khalas, I stop what I'm doing. I say, okay, khalas. So if you're going to do it, you got to include the okay, man. Like you can't just put khalas in all caps like that. And, now I am feeling a little bit stressed. But in all seriousness, Frank, I've been sick since Tuesday. Like today's like the first day that I'm actually starting to feel like remotely a little bit better. So I figured, I'd go live since I haven't posted. I put my what happened here? Oh my goodness, one of these annoying puzzle things. I'm not a robot nonsense on TikTok. All right, I got it on the first try. Thank God. Um, so I postponed all my recipe videos, that I had planned for this week because of the fact that I've been sick. Um, so for today, since I started to feel a little bit better, and my voice is not completely shot like it has been the past few days, I figured I'd go live, just do a Q&A, like an open mic, with everyone. Milo is saying, please say, okay, khalas. Okay, khalas. There you go. So that's how it's supposed to be done, Frank. You read the comment, whatever, whether it's a complaint, like, well, when I do it in my videos, I'm usually, thinking of a complaint. And then, once you say the complaint, you do the hand wave, and you say, okay, khalas, and then you come up with whatever your comeback is, whatever comes to mind. That's the proper way to okay, khalas. All right, let's see what's going on here with the comments. Either either I'm receiving like the same comment like over and over and over again, or like my computer's glitching. I don't know which one it is. I'm trying to find my place because it kind of just like threw me to the bottom, so it skipped over a lot of comments. Let's see. Luna is saying, I just wanted to pop in and say thank you for your awesome recipes. You're welcome, Luna. I appreciate you popping in and commenting on this live. Thank you. Let's see. Riza is saying, when we talk goulash, are you using the main ingredients like smoked paprika on Egyptian goulash? Uh, so sometimes I will use paprika, sometimes I don't. So when I make goulash, it's the filo dough. I melt down the samna, the butter, and then brush the butter on each sheet, layer it in the dish. And then for the lahma, I usually use ground beef. The ground beef, I'll dice up like an onion, um, fry it in some olive oil, then I'll add the lahma. The lahma, I'll usually season it with salt, pepper, ground coriander. Sometimes I'll do like a little bit of ground nutmeg, and sometimes I'll also do paprika. But salt, pepper, and coriander are my three go-to seasonings when it comes to goulash. And for the egg wash, it's just the eggs, the milk, and then if I have any leftover samna or the butter, I'll add that in. Sometimes I'll add the same seasonings that I used in with the egg wash. Another seasoning that I'll sometimes use is oregano leaves as well. But salt, pepper, and coriander, those are my three primary not ingredients, spices that I use for when I make goulash. Uh, let's see. Bro, Mizo is saying, love your recipes and thanks for the kunafa. I've been wondering the name of that dish for years. Yes, it is kunafa. Not that Dubai chocolate nonsense. Can you make fried rice with eggs? Because I'm Egyptian. I want to try it, please. Fried rice with eggs? Is there a fried rice with eggs dish in Egyptian culture? Or are we talking about a different culture here? Let's see. Is there an Egyptian version of sausage like Marquez? Yes, there is. Um, it's called sagut, if I'm pronouncing that right. It's actually on my list of things to make, of recipes to make, and I actually have it planned coming up soon, like in the next few weeks. So definitely stay tuned for that. Let's see what else. Let's check in with YouTube, see if there's any updates with YouTube. All right, it looks like YouTube is going steady. So back over to TikTok. Sanila is saying, yeah, Power Rangers didn't have good reputation at that time, LOL. Yeah, it definitely had a lot of mixed reviews. But at the end of the day, I think it was a fun show. All right. So this comment of can you make the fried rice with eggs, like it's coming up on my screen like 20 times. I don't know if that's actually being commented multiple times or if it's just repeat. I don't know. Riza is saying it was a privilege listening to your conversation as always. Appreciate you, Riza. If you left, I apologize. I wasn't able to say goodbye in time. It does take me a little bit longer to read through the comments. Ahmed is saying, yo, all the love from Munafiyya. Khalas. You gotta remember the okay. It's not khalas. It's okay khalas. And when I was in Egypt last year, I did spend a day near Munafiyya actually. Saul is asking if I can speak Egyptian. No, I cannot speak Egyptian because Egyptian is not a language. Egyptians speak Arabic. Speak Arabic and English. Let's see. Dirty Pig Barbecue Pit is saying, pardon, chef. Do you have your recipes on other platforms? I'd love to try some of your dishes. Yes, so all of my recipe videos are posted on all my social media platforms. My username for all my social medias is the same as it appears here on TikTok. My username is the Egyptian Cook, TheEgyptianCook. There's no symbols, there's no numbers, none of that. It is linked in my bio. Linked in my bio is my website, theegyptiancook.com. You can find all of my social media platforms there. If it's not my website, then it is not me. So definitely, if you want to follow me on any of my other social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, I'm even on LinkedIn for whatever reason. Am I missing one? Pinterest as well. My username is the same across the board, the Egyptian Cook. All right, can you make the fried rice with eggs? Because I'm Egyptian and I want to try it, please. This comment keeps on coming up like multiple times. Uh, have I ever cooked makluba before? Peter is wondering. Peter Pan. No, I have not. I've eaten it before, but I've never cooked it. Zach is saying, Kif Inta, ask me how I'm doing. I'm doing okay. Feeling a little bit better today. H9 is saying, man, you look angry in the reels. Why are you looking like a nice guy in the stream? It's a good question. And when I'm recording my videos, it's like very high stress. You know, like working the camera and the cooking and all that type of stuff. Plus, you know, I see it as work. So when I'm working, especially like for my videos, like I want it to be essentially zero tolerance, like no nonsense, because there is a certain degree of like I guess like the haters or whatever you want to call it that will, you know, migrate their way into your videos and all that type of stuff. So I like to keep things zero tolerance. But then, you know, because it's my videos are more so for people to learn about the culture. And then, you know, I add, you know, a sprinkle of my sarcasm, especially with the okay khalas and that side of things. So it's essentially to maintain like a certain level of presentation in my videos. And honestly, I don't plan to ever change that. Like you might see me smile like once here or there randomly in a video, but it's usually, you know, if I'm talking smack to somebody or like a response video. Um but yeah. So the way my videos are like with my personality in my recipe videos, I plan to keep it that way. Chris Chill is saying, made it here to Arkansas of all places. Where were you before Arkansas? I've never been there. So what's a good food and what food is Arkansas known for? Sanila is saying we are a big Muslim community in Bosnia. Very cool. Let's see. What else? Riza is saying, of course, he has made makluba. He is an Egyptian dude. I actually haven't made makluba before. I've eaten it, but I've never made it. What's my favorite Egyptian dish? Account not found is asking what my favorite Egyptian dish is. Without question, it is molkhaya. Oh my goodness! Don't even get me started on molkhaya. But it's got to be thick. Like it's got to be heavy on the actual molkhaya, and it's got to have a lot of the fried garlic. Like those two things. Like it has to be thick and heavy on the garlic. Um, Molkhaya all day, every day when it comes to Egyptian food. And I like to pair it with the ruzb al-sha'iyya, is always good as well. With lahma, of course, chicken, it's also good as well. But molkhaya, without question, is my favorite Egyptian food. Chris Chill is saying, I am not Muslim and have not had Egyptian food before, but I love your videos. Want to try it all. You don't have to be Muslim to eat Egyptian food, Chris. Like not at all. It's food and culture. Um, the only like religious aspect when it comes to uh, my recipe videos is at the end, like after I finish preparing. said food or drink, whatever it is that I'm making for the purpose of that video, I say Yalla Bismillah, which is Arabic for, so Yalla, like when you see it written in the closed captions, Yalla is Yallah in English. That is, it has multiple meanings based on how you use it. Uh, it can either mean like let's go, it can mean come on, like a form of encouragement. So when we were younger, like, when dinner was ready, like mama would always say Yalla, to get us to like come on, like dinner is ready. Um, and then Bismillah is Arabic for in the name of God. Um, so it's essentially just a very short. So when I say Yallah Bismillah, it's my way of saying come on in the name of God. Um, so that's the only religious aspect for my videos. But in terms of like the food itself, you do not have to be Muslim to eat any of the foods that I make. And if I were to recommend you for the first one for you to try, considering that you have not had Egyptian food before, I would recommend the Egyptian goulash, which is a crispy and savory phyllo meat pie, which is actually pinned at the top of my TikTok page. I would recommend that. Another one that I would recommend is an Egyptian style pot kebab, which in Arabic is called kebab hala. So those are the two that I would recommend. The pot kebab is essentially like a beef chuck roast. You cube it into smaller pieces, and then you take a whole lot of onions. When I say a lot of onions, I mean you want to bury the lahma, which lahma is Arabic for meat. You want to bury the lahma in diced onions. So if you're using like 1 pound of lahma, for example, you want to use like 1.5 pounds at least of onions. So you dice up the onions as fine as you can get them. It doesn't have to be super fine, but you want to dice them pretty small. And first you brown the lahma, so you cube the lahma into small pieces, and then you brown it just to give it like some coloration on the outside. And once that happens, you season it and you add all of the diced onions, all of it. So it's essentially going to bury the lahma. You give it a nice mix, turn the heat to medium low and put the lid on. Every 10 to 15 minutes, open the lid and give it a nice mix. Put the lid back on and keep on doing that. And for every pound of meat, every pound of lahma, it takes about an hour. And what you will find that will happen over time is that the onions will reduce to essentially form like an onion gravy. And the lahma cooks in all of that flavor and absorbs a lot of like the onion juices, like the onion water, I guess you can call it. And it gives the lahma so much flavor and is so incredibly amazing. So the Egyptian style pot kebab and the Egyptian goulash, those are my two recommendations for you to try. H9 is asking why I don't reply to the Arabic comments, because I'm not the greatest at reading Arabic. That's why. I still need to learn and improve not just my speech, not just my Arabic speech, but also my reading and writing ability. Have I ever tried Alexandrian food? I think I have. When I was in Egypt, I went to this restaurant called Food Wahid, and I tried like 4 or 5 or 6 different types of food. And I think one of them was Alexandrian style food. I don't remember what was in it, to be honest with you. Um, I think I have it in the video that I posted for it. But I know I've had it before. What's the meaning of that khalas? Khalas is Arabic for enough. So when I'm saying it, I'm saying okay khalas. So I'm essentially saying okay enough. So I say it in response to so I get a lot of complaints in my comment section from my recipe videos from the haters and the people who are not happy with my techniques or how I make things or whatever the case, whatever their complaint is. I've even had people complain about my beard. It's like, really? Or like, people complain, why are you wearing a suit? It's like, I'm so confused. You know, um, so a way for me to respond to those comments, uh, I guess like in a comedic way, is for how I do it in my videos. Um, I'll mock the haters because I get a lot of the same complaints, like why I'm dressed the way that I am. That's a common one. So so in one of my recent videos, I made the comment. I was like, "Oh, why are you wearing a suit?" And then I said, "Okay, khalas." And then I responded. I said something about that class is now in session and I'm the principal or whatever. Sit back down in your seat and behave. I said something witty. Um, so when I say "Okay, khalas," it's like me saying "Okay, enough." Uh, so I only ever say it when it comes to addressing the haters. And I found that it actually reduces the number of haters that comment in um, with the negative stuff, and then the people who enjoy following me, they find it to be entertaining and funny whenever I. Some people refer to it, some people will write in the comments like, "I'm here for the scolding." And things like that. Like they're just waiting for me to react in some sort of capacity in the form of the okay khalas. So khalas means enough. Linda just wrote my name uh, in the comment. Not sure why. I'm guessing you're trying to get my attention. So thank you, Linda, for calling my name in the comment section. Let's see. Falfa is asking where am I from? So I'm Egyptian but reside in Michigan. And why am I speaking English? Because I'm in the USA and most of my following are people who speak English. Sarah is asking my thoughts on Fasih. So it's been like, I think I've only had Fasih like once in my life, like a long time ago. And a lot of people actually keep on asking me to make fasih, and it is on my list of foods to make. Like a lot of people keep on sending me DMs to make fasih. It's essentially just a very salty fish for those of you who do not know. The challenge is finding the fish here, considering I'm here in the U.S. So that's the challenge that I'm presented with. Like even another one, like another popular one that people keep on asking me for, but it's hard for me to find. A lot of people keep on asking me for hamam mahshi, which is stuffed pigeons. But it's, some markets around here, like the Mediterranean markets around here, some carry the pigeon, but they usually don't look the greatest, so I don't buy it. So when the time is right and I find the right fish, I will definitely be making fasih. Bro, Mizo is saying, love your recipes and thanks for bringing kunafa back into my life. You're welcome, bro, Mizo. I'm glad that you are able to find such great value in my recipe videos. I'm always happy to hear that. My name is Hanan. Why are you calling me Isha or whatever you're saying? I'm just going based off your username. Your username says HNON. So I was just saying HNON. How else am I supposed to say that? I'm just, so anytime I'm addressing any of the comments, I'm just going simply off of the usernames. I'm not looking to see what the person's name is, or because the username can be different um, from the person's actual name. So any person that I'm addressing, I'm going based off of the username, because on my computer, that is what it shows. It's not unless I hover over. Um, no, even when I hover over it, it just shows HNON. So I would actually have to click into each person's username to know what their name is if it appears differently on their account. So that's why I've been saying HNON. Bro, Mizo is saying I had the kunafa when I was younger and couldn't remember the name. User 645 is saying enough. The proper pronunciation is khalas, and the proper expression, the proper way to express it is okay khalas. User 645 is saying complaints from the kitchen police. LOL. Yeah, pretty much. We get a lot of people who will tell me that's not how you make it, and like ignorant things like that. It's like, but that is how I made it, because that's what I just did. Um, I don't know. A lot of people have this concept that their way of making it is the only way to make it, and if anyone else makes it a different way, then it's not authentic, or whatever it is that they want to say. And with that type of mentality, then you wouldn't have restaurants. Like, there wouldn't be 100 different restaurants for you to choose a burger from. Like, if you're craving a burger, you can go on Google and search burgers near me, and dozens of restaurants will appear, or any type of food or cuisine or Italian food near me, or whatever the case is. So there's no one set way to make any type of food. So it always cracks me up when, as user 645 says, the kitchen police complain. It always cracks me up. So I find it as an opportunity to capitalize upon with my okay khalas. Coach wants to know, where did I learn how to cook? So essentially, when I was younger, because I do have a big appetite, I would always find myself like in the kitchen as mama was cooking, just trying to eat from whatever was ready and prepared. And so over time, it would turn into, she would give me some sort of uh, like simple task of, do this or that, something simple for me to do. And out of my natural curiosity, I would ask, what's this? What's that? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? As she's doing other, as she's preparing other foods and things like that. So over time, I just learned um, of just from simply watching and just from going through the motions and learning. So that's originally how it started. And then, later on in my adult life, from living on my own, um, I prefer a home cooked meal over going out to eat. So I had to learn from doing that as well. Thank you, Princess Jewel, for the gift. I appreciate it. And I apologize if my gratitude is coming in delayed. I'm just going through as I am reading the comments. But thank you, Princess. Let's see. I'm switching over to YouTube for a moment here. Amr is asking or saying, "Hey, Egyptian cook, can you make us Egyptian fatir with meat and cheese?" So here's the thing. When anytime we make fatir in our family, we do not add any of the fillings that a lot of like newer generations are doing. In this case, the meat and cheese, or the lahma with gibna. And there are a lot of also like sweet adaptations of fatir. In our family, we do not do that. So when I was in Egypt, I did post a recipe video for fatir mashartet that we made in the balad. Um, but in terms of me making one with the lahma filling, to be honest with you, I don't think I'll ever do that um, for a video. I'm just being honest because it's not something that I would normally do uh, when making um, said food. Please do more of these in the future, inshallah. I plan to do more lives. I have been going live um, essentially like when I'm recording my recipe videos to give you guys like that behind the scenes look. It's been a while since I've done like an open mic Q&A with everybody. Abdul Rahim is saying, my uncle has a favorite Egyptian meal. It's called Mal al Yatin. What? I have to look this up. Let's see. Nope. Let me go back to this. Did I misread it? Abdul Rahim, can you be a little bit more specific on, can you describe like what dish that you were referring to? Because I'm searching what you wrote here and I'm not finding it. So can you clarify please what you are referring to? Let me switch back over to TikTok. Thoughts on Assassin's Creed Origins? So I've actually never played that game. I may have played it for like 5 minutes. I played one on the Assassin's Creed for like a few minutes. It was never my type of gameplay, to be honest. But the graphics in those games in general are pretty insane. So I'm sure Egypt did look amazing. And there's probably some cool things that you could do in there. Uh, would dove work in place of pigeon for hammam mahshi? I mean, you could use dove, but I want to be able to find like actual pigeon in order to make that dish. B is saying, forgive my spelling, but what is lahma? Lahma, so I usually spell it Lahma, which is Arabic for meat. So anytime I'm referring to any type of meat, whether it's beef or lamb, I say lahma. Keep it general. Queen is saying, love your recipes. I can make my daughter's food that is from their culture thanks to you. You're welcome, Queen. I'm glad that you find value in the content that I create. I'm glad that it is bringing your family together. Let's see what else. What has been your favorite dish that you've tried from mine thus far? Let me know. Let's see. Where did I go? Where did I go? Neda is saying hello, chef. Hello to you, Neda. But I'm not a chef, just a cook. It's Hanoun. Okay, when I apologize, but the first time when you wrote it out, you spelt it as Hanan, like Hanan. So I'm just going based off the phonetic spelling, but it's Hanoun. So I apologize for the mispronunciation. Basha, what's the next meal? That's a good question. I do have a few different dishes planned out. One of which is buftik, another one is kebab hala, which I'm planning to mix with how to essentially, like one of the ways to prepare, not prepare, but to serve the pickled lemon, the lamun mukhalil that I made. So those are coming up. I'm also planning to do mahshi crumb as well. So that's also on the near future agenda. Neda is yelling at me in the comments and saying, "Okay, khalas." So unnecessary, Neda. Well, actually, it is necessary. Let's see. Let's see. And then Angel, I got another person yelling at me in the comments. Angel is saying, "Okay, khalas, call me angels." Like, is the yelling really necessary? It actually is. Mm-hmm. Moonstar is saying hi from Morocco. Love your videos. Tried a few. Awesome. Welcome, Moonstar. Welcome all the way from Morocco. Black Noir is asking, was I born in Egypt or in the US? I was born in the US. Speaking of Black Noir, one of my favorite like Black Noir style movies is Sin City. Hmm. Great movie. Hanuna is asking, how do you know all these Egyptian recipes and not be able to read Arabic? So when I was younger and I started to learn like Arabic in general, like the language of Arabic, it was right before I started elementary school. And at that point in time, uh, so I was working more on my language than I was the reading and writing. And then I started elementary school. At that point in time, you know, the all the schools here in the U.S. are English is the language used for education. So essentially, I went from speaking Arabic to doing everything in English. So it was essentially just because of geographic location and education. Enigma is saying, well, Enigma forgot the okay, but is essentially saying, okay, khalas, shave your beard. Not going to happen. I do need to like trim it a little bit to like clean it up, but not like to trim it to make it shorter. Just trim it, you know, take care of some of, you know, the ends and all that. Um, I haven't trimmed it once. Like I just trimmed like my sideburns a few times here and there, but like down here, I haven't trimmed it once since September. So I kind of just letting it, you know, grow wild, do its things. The most like I've done is just trim my sideburns a little bit, but you know, other than that, I plan on letting this grow even more and more and more. Who knows? Maybe I'll go for, you know, down the road once it gets long enough, I'll go for like the Thor braided look, like that braided Viking look that he did in Avengers Endgame. Who knows? We'll see what happens, where time will take us. Nether who is saying, bro, you're awesome. Thank you, Nether. I appreciate you. Let's see. Pete, Peter Pistol Flies. Am I saying that right? I don't know. And it says Santa in parentheses. Forgive me if I completely. I'm just gonna say Santa because it says Santa in parentheses. Is saying My mom and I have wanted to try Egyptian food for so long, and now we make your recipes. Thank you. Which recipes have you tried thus far, and what's been your favorite? What's been a hit in your family's home? Neder is saying my Egyptian brother-in-law says you're the best. Thank you, Neder. I appreciate you and your brother-in-law. Nether is asking if I have I posted Koshary yet. Yes, I have. I posted Koshary like over a year ago, but it's actually I'm planning to do that in the coming week. That's another one of my recipes I'm planning to do as well. So definitely stay tuned for um, my newer and improved version of Koshary, which I'm super excited for. Koshary is definitely up there for one of my favorite Egyptian foods as well. User 645 is responding to B saying lahma means meat. You are correct, user 645. Anun is saying med al yatim means money of the orphan. It is a famous joke in Egypt. I'm not familiar with that joke. X Phenomenon is saying, hello, Cook. Thank you for your videos. They are both informative and entertaining. You're welcome. Appreciate your feedback. Glad that you find them to be both informative and entertaining. It must mean I am doing something right. Ahmed is asking, are you actually Egyptian or just cooking Egyptian food? Really? I'm not even going to designate that with an answer. I sent you videos let me try that again. Lauren is saying I sent you videos from Chef JJ um, Facebook's Resin Styles Spice Lamb. Okay, I've made one of his recipes before actually. It was the lahma bil karas. It was the Syrian style um, meatballs with cherry sauce. It was really good. So thank you, Lauren, for sending that to me. I'm assuming the FBS is Facebook, right? That's where you sent it to me, so I know where to look. I'll look like after this live is over for any messages or DMs that are sent to me. Lauren is saying I plan to make your onion soup with beef. Onion soup? I didn't even, no, no. If you're referring to what I was describing earlier, it's not an onion soup. It's pot kebab. We call it kebab hala in Arabic. So it's essentially you dice up so much onions, and onions naturally have a lot of the moisture, the onion water, essentially. So what happens is, so like if you're using 1 pound of lahma, you want to use about 1.5 pounds of onion, is like the approximate ratio um, you want to use. And what happens is, so you dice up the lahma into small cubes and dice up the onions. It doesn't have to be super fine, but in small pieces. And what happens is, so you brown the lahma, you season it, and then you add all the diced onions, and you give it a nice mix. The onions will essentially, the lahma will be buried in all the onions, is what I'm trying to say. I'm stumbling on all my words right now. um, so the lahma will essentially be buried in all the onions. Give it a nice mix and put the lid on, so that will capture the like contain all the steam. And what happens is the moisture, all the onion water will naturally release from it, and then give it a nice mix like every 10 to 15 minutes, and put the lid back on, so that way you trap all of that moisture, and the onions will continue to release its water, it's all of the onion juices, and over time it will eventually release all of its onion water, and then it will start to naturally form that onion gravy. So the onions will, when you watch my video, see that the onions are like at the so like imagine this is the pot, even though this is a cup. Just imagine it's a pot. So like at the start, the onions will be up to here, like right to the rim. But over time, like after an hour, it reduces, because a lot of the onion, once like it releases all of the onion water, it mixes with the lahma. The lahma will take on that flavor, and it essentially turns into an onion gravy, but it reduces a lot. So it's not a soup where it will still be up here, like where you started. So like the onions will go from being at the rim to basically being like at the very bottom, to now where the lahma is above the onions. And it is so out of this world good, so easy to make. The most challenging part is the time, because it's on average, like at least like about, for every pound of lahma you use, it's about 1 hour of cooking, average, if I remember correctly. So that's the most challenging part. It's just waiting for it to be ready, but it is so worth it. So definitely worth it. Let's see. Hey man, just popping in briefly. You are so awesome. Love the videos and content. So talented, dude. This is coming from the Politburo. If I'm reading your username properly. Thank you for popping in for a moment. I appreciate you and your comment. Let's see. Oops, I just skipped a lot of messages. Oh, okay, I'm back. Let's see. Have you visited Syria or Lebanon? No, I have not. The only countries near there that I've been to is Egypt. Zayden is asking, will you grow the lahma hair and braid it? That style too? What do you mean the lahma hair? What do you refer? What is lahma hair? What? Will you grow the lahma hair and braid it? That style it too? Are you calling me lahma? What's going on here? Uh Calcaret, or wait, no, I just added an L to your name. Uh Kakarat, if I'm saying that right, is saying make a video on your least liked Egyptian food. So I did recently make a video on not a food, but my least favorite drink, because it is absolute sewer water and disgusting. It's for a licorice root drink that we call Sus. It is absolutely disgusting. Like, ugh. A lot of people will say it's so sweet and delicious. No, I call it sewer water. I just posted that video a few weeks ago. It is on my page. You'll see it's in a cup. It's a drink. It's in a cup. It's like brownish in color. And the title at the top of the thumbnail, it says licorice root drink. But when it comes to food, like I'm really not picky when it comes to food. Unlike a food that I don't like. I mean, if I really had to think about it, like, I don't really care for zucchini. It's just so bland. I don't know, but like I'm not really picky when it comes to food. So I'd really have to think about it when it comes to what's my least favorite Egyptian food, to be honest with you. Roger Rabbit is saying you seem quite disciplined, brother. What's the backstory? Um, oh man, that's really a loaded question. What's the backstory? I don't know. It's just I think it's important to maintain like a certain level of discipline when it comes to like especially with my videos, like for the recipe videos. Like here in the live, I'm a lot more relaxed than what you see in my recipe videos. But when it comes to like my recipe videos, it's something that I tend to take very seriously because it is a form of my work. Um, it's not my sole job, but it is a job. And when it comes to me and work, I tend to be zero tolerance when it comes to my work. So before this, I used to work at a community college, and one of my nicknames there was the enforcer. Um, so I worked in when I worked at the college, I worked there for several years. I worked in student activities, and one of my one of my primary roles for my job was to plan social events and volunteer events for students. I would also help with other things, but those were like my two primary roles at the college. And the office I worked in, there was about 10 of us, I want to say, total in that office, like roughly. Um, and plus our counterparts at the other campus, so like collectively with the entire department, about 20 of us. But in my office specifically, um, I I was given the name the enforcer because when it came to um, essentially like doing the job and the policies and the rules and getting things done, like I was the person that was zero tolerance when it came to a lot of things. Um, don't get me wrong, like I know how to have like a good time and to joke and things like that. But when it comes to like my work and how I carry myself, I think it is important to be disciplined. I think it's important for everybody to have some sort of to carry some sort of discipline. But for me personally, it's just how I am. There are days where, I tend to not be so disciplined. And a good example of that would be right now as we speak with this live. Considering that I'm a lot more relaxed than I am like when I record my recipe videos. But good observation, Roger Rabbit. Saddam is asking if I live alone. Yes, I do. Nader Who is saying, would Koshary be considered as the Egyptian national dish? Yes, it is actually Egypt's national dish, Koshary. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, authentic. Roger Rabbit is saying authentic Egyptian food. Personally, it's a topic historically not expanded upon. You are correct. So when I first started making my recipe videos, I was kind of just, I had no direction with where I was going. I didn't even know how to properly make a video. I was just using my phone. I bought a tripod. I paid like $30 or so, like 35 bucks for a tripod for my phone. Just set the phone, and I started, no idea what I was doing. And I started using the iMovies app because it was free to use. And I've never edited a video before. And so that's where I started. And I was making, any types of any type of food. It wasn't even Egyptian food. Like 1 out of every 10 recipe videos was Egyptian food. The other 9 out of 10 were, anything. It just random foods that don't even make sense. Like taco chips. Don't ask. It's on my YouTube if you really want to know. And so like at that point in time when I was first making videos, like my videos, they would get like 100 views, a couple hundred views. Some would get like 1,000 views, not anything to brag about. And so one day, I'm trying to figure this out. Like a year passed by, and like my videos are still not, they're not really doing much. So like I essentially had to go back to the drawing board and think to myself, like, okay, like something needs to change. I'm obviously not doing something right, and I need to figure out what that is. So at that point in time, like my videos were averaging like a couple thousand views, like a year into it. And so now I'm on YouTube. So YouTube does a really good job of giving you like video analytics. Like of all the social media platforms, I think YouTube does the best in terms of video analytics, because they really dive deep into, the data that they provide for you. So I was going through all of my video analytics and comparing, this one got 1,000 views, this one got 2,000 views, etc. And I noticed a trend, for among all of my videos, like the videos that performed the best. So like all my videos were getting like 1,000 to 2,000 views, but then my Egyptian food videos were getting like 4, 5, 6,000 views. And at that point in time, like I said, average 1 out of every 10 videos I was making was Egyptian food. And I was like, holy crap, like my Egyptian food videos are performing 3 times better, like at least, than my regular videos. And when you're looking at it just from numerical value, like 2,000 views to 6,000 views, it's only a difference of 4,000 views. So like a person might think of it like, oh, that's not that big of a deal. But when you look at it from like a percentage standpoint, it's performing 3 times better. That's 300% better. So it's like essentially another way to look at it. It's like tripling your money. And so now it's just like, holy crap, like this has been right in front of me this entire time. I need to capitalize on this. And so, and I stopped making videos for a while, and I started doing my research on how to create like a better video. Because like I said, at that point in time, I was just using my phone. I didn't have any lighting set up or anything like that. It was just, the regular lighting from my kitchen. I didn't have any of the camera lights, or I didn't have anything, not even a microphone. And so I started doing a lot of research. I started researching how to create a better video. I started researching cameras, lighting, microphones, the works. And it took me about, I want to say like 6 months or so of me just learning, me first researching, but then also learning the equipment that I just bought. And so when I started doing that, I still dabbled a little bit here and there with like non-Egyptian foods, but then like I told myself like, okay, like this is stupid. This is not what I set out to do from what I learned. So it was like December of 2023. Yeah, this like December, like maybe end of November 2023, but it was December 2023 for sure. That's where I flipped the script, and I went from making 1 out of every 10 videos being Egyptian foods to 9 out of every 10 videos, if not 10 out of every 10 videos. 10 out of 10 videos were Egyptian food videos. And once I started doing that, my videos started getting a lot more traction within a month. So on January 1st of 2024, that's when I actually posted that Egyptian goulash video across all my social media platforms, and that was my first viral video actually. Before that, like my videos started, hitting 100,000 views, 200,000 views, things like that. And it was happening right before, like it was in front of me this entire time, but I just didn't realize it. Um, and if not for me going back to the drawing board and actually going through um, my data and my video analytics, I wouldn't have realized something that was right in front of me this entire time. And I did more research too, to see what other food content creators were doing, and really like, excuse me, especially when it comes to here in America, in the U.S. So there is a significant Middle Eastern population here in the U.S., but among all of the content creators, the food content creators, a lot of them are just making, American foods. Um, None of them are really making. There's really nobody out there who was making Egyptian food. So another thing too, at that point in time when I was like, my username was not always the Egyptian cook. Oh my goodness. So my original username, oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing. My original username, like way back when, was me in the kitchen, like ME, because it's my initials. My name is Mohammed Al Gamal, so me in the kitchen. That was my original username, and my setup was a lot different too at that point in time. Like my story or like the step by steps, but I wasn't talking in those videos. I would just show the step by step. Then on my Instagram, I would take a picture of the final dish, and that would be what I post. So yeah, and then then I changed my name from me in the kitchen to Muhammad's kitchen. But I was like, okay, there are millions upon millions of Muhammads out there. Like and there's so many different ways to spell the name Muhammad. So I was like, that's got to go. Then like being so ignorant, I went from like Muhammad's kitchen to Muhammad's cooking. Or I did it the other way around. I don't remember which one came first. It was either Muhammad's kitchen. I went from Muhammad's kitchen to Muhammad's cooking, or Muhammad's cooking to Muhammad's kitchen. I don't remember, but it was one or the other. But then like after I changed it, I was like, okay, like this is so ignorant of me. Like I want to change it because I don't want to use the name Muhammad because it's so popular and it's not going to be easy to find, and but then I just changed the second part from kitchen to cooking or vice versa. I was like, so this has got to go. So I had to wait like a month, because when you change your username, I think you have to wait like a month or something like that to change it. Then I changed it. Oh my goodness, here we go again. Then I changed it to Mesculina recipes, spelled Mesculina, Mesculina recipes. And oh my goodness, so I still wanted to use my name in some capacity. So like I was trying to think of like a clever way to still use my name without using my name. So I came up with Mesculina, which is French for my kitchen. But then like MES, like mes is my, and then Culina, Culina is kitchen. But then if you look at it from like an English perspective, like ME apostrophe S, there's no apostrophe in Mesculina. But if you just like if you imagine one, it you could look at it as my initials, ME, so Muhammad Al Gamad's kitchen is how I looked at it. But then like I'm thinking about it, thinking, okay, like I'm so clever, this is so awesome. But then like I was like, okay, like this is not familiar, this is not going to be easy for people to pick up on, and I should not have to explain what Mescalina means like every single time, because if I have to explain it every single time, that means it's not easy for people to remember. And I want people to be, I want my platform to be something easy for anybody to be able to remember. But when you look at Mescalina, you're gonna be like, what is this? Like you're probably gonna yell at me and be like, okay, khalas, like change your username, is most likely what's going to happen. So I stuck with Mescalina for like about 4 or 5 6 months, I think, maybe even more than that. I would have to look at it like from my old emails that I would receive from YouTube, because YouTube sends you like a monthly like email update of your progress. Like you got X number of views this month and this many new subscribers and blah blah blah. And they always title it like, Dear Mescalina, or Dear Muhammad's Kitchen, or Dear, in this case, the Egyptian Cook. Um, so Mescalina was my last username, but during that time of where I went back to the drawing board, where I was like, okay, like I need to do something like different. Like I need to really capitalize on this opportunity. That's where I decided, I need to go, like 9 out of my 10 recipe videos need to be Egyptian foods, and if not 10 out of 10. But then also I need to change my username, because I don't want to have to explain Mescalina every single time, because then by the time I'm done explaining it, I already lost the person. So now I thought to myself, I'm going to be focusing on Egyptian foods. I'm Egyptian as it is, and I'm a cook, not a chef. That's all I'm doing, is I'm just cooking and showing, you, the viewers, of what it is I'm doing. So the Egyptian Cook came to be. So that's essentially that's basically how it came to be, and all this came from Roger Rabbit's comment saying authentic Egyptian food. Personally, it's a topic historically not expanded upon. So that's essentially the backstory of how it came to be. So after I went through all those changes and research and everything, my videos, here and there, started going viral and started gaining more traction. And my TikTok went from having, I don't know, like 10, 20,000 followers to having over 100,000 followers. And same with my Instagram. My Instagram back in December of 2023, I didn't even have 2,000 followers. But my goulash video on Instagram as well just went crazy viral. And from that one video alone, I gained over like 45,000 new followers, which was just like out of this world. It's just like, I don't know. It was crazy. But yeah. So I think I found my niche. I really did. I actually enjoy doing it. Plus, I enjoy yelling at people, and the okay khalas is really grown on people, like it really has. And it's just wild on how things fall into play. It really is. But I'm glad with how things happen. Yes, I've had my ups and my downs, don't get me wrong. It all does not come easy. It is a lot of hard work. It's not, a lot of people have this misconception that, that social media, like, oh, you just make a video and it's so easy and you get all these views. And it's like, no, not at all. Like, it's a lot of work. Like, actually have to research what you're doing and all of that. And, there are some foods, for example, that I'm not too familiar with. Like, what did I recently make? Give me 1 second. Let me look at my recent videos and see what I made that I actually had to learn. So like the mish, that's a good one. I just posted that like within the past month, and that was one that I had to learn from scratch. So that's essentially why I did what I did with making the clarified butter. It was essentially like a 3-part like build. I made the clarified butter, then I made the morta, which is the browned milk solids, because I needed that in order to make the mish. So even the morta, that's another one that I had to learn. So I don't know everything. I don't have the answers to everything. That hence also the reason why my name is the Egyptian Cook and not the Egyptian Chef. Because I did not go to school for this. I do not have, that professional culinary training. A lot of what I learned from Mama, and then from the other things that either of us do not know, we research. And anything she tells me, I usually don't listen anyways. And she'll always make jokes on how she'll tell me what she has to say, and if I don't listen, which I most likely don't listen, because I do what I want is our little joke. Uh, she'll go and tell me, this and that and the other, and then I'll just look at her and be like, I do what I want, and um, but yeah, so it's that's all part of the journey. Now let's go back to these comments. Let's see what's going on in these comments. Thank you for asking that question, or making it wasn't even a question. It just spiraled into the beginning. So thank you, Roger Rabbit, if you're still with us. Thank you for commenting in with that comment. On TikTok, just want to give a quick shout out to my top three users, my top three viewers at this time. User 645, you are number one. And then I also have Calwis. I said your username properly. I apologize if I made a mistake. And then also Kareem. So thank you to the three of you for being my top three viewers. All right, let's see what is next on this comments section. Let's check in on YouTube for a moment. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Okay, so Cryptix is asking me, are you actually Egyptian or are you just cooking Egyptian food? I'm sorry, but like questions like that, they're really ignorant, like questioning somebody's culture. So anytime a person asks me those questions, I'm going to give a response like how I did. Let's see. Jordan is asking me on TikTok if I ever made basbousa. Yes, I have made basbousa, but it needs some improving. I made it about a year ago, like roughly, maybe a little bit less, but about a year ago. Let's see. Paffy is asking, can I make falafel using chickpeas? Yes, you can. So there's a key difference between falafel and ta'miyya. So ta'miyya is the original OG of falafel. It actually originated in Egypt. And when it originated, it was known as or called ta'miyya. And ta'miyya is essentially made of split fava beans, not chickpeas. But then when it was later adopted by other regions in the Middle East, a lot of the other regions started using chickpeas. They would either use 100% chickpeas or they would use a mixture of chickpeas and the split fava beans. When it was later adopted by these other regions and used with chickpeas, a lot of these regions started calling it falafel. So no, like if you're ever going to like a restaurant, even like in Egypt, like to this day, like there are some parts of Egypt that will call it ta'miyya and other parts that will call it falafel. And that will let you know whether it's made with the split fava beans or with the chickpeas. And to be honest with you, is 100 times better when it is made with the split fava beans. I have nothing against chickpeas. I love chickpeas. I love hummus in general and in any capacity. But when it comes to ta'miyya, it's got to be the split fava beans. Camille is saying hello. I once go to Egypt, really craving ta'miyya and eat it with some pickles. What's pickle's name? So it matters on what type of pickle you're referring to. So like generally speaking, it's called mekhalil, but there are different types that you could have. Like there's the pickled lemon, the pickled turnips. So the pickled lemon is lamun mekhalil. I do have a recipe for that I just posted a few weeks ago. There's the pickled turnips, which is lift. So there are a lot of different like pickled vegetables that you could pair it with. Chewy is saying, hey, I dig your recipes. Dig the suit. Thanks for sharing. It's fun to see you. Appreciate you. Okay, khalas. Thank you for your comment, Chewy. If I knew how to do the Chewbacca noise, because your name Chewie made me think of Chewbacca from Star Wars. I would have done that after the okay khalas. But given I don't know how to do it, I'm just gonna quit while I'm ahead. Jordan is asking for lahma feta ruz. That's a good one. So I have made feta before, like about a year ago, but I did not make it with the lahma. I made it, nor did I make it with the salsa either. The way we make it is different. It's essentially the pita bread with the ruz, and then obviously the broth, the lahma broth, and then like a garlic vinegar. Uh, what can I call it? I don't want to. I'm going to call it a dressing. It's not like a. It's like a hot dressing, not hot as in spice, but hot as in temperature, because we fry the garlic in semna and butter, and then we add some broth and vinegar, white vinegar, and then once it's all heated up and good to go, then we pour it over the feta. So that's how we do it. Jordan commented just mold. I have no idea what you're referring to there. Let's see. Mally is saying, outside of Egyptian cuisine, do you have a special favorite, or not special, a second favorite cuisine? Yes. So outside of Egyptian food, so like if I go out to eat, like my favorite, like my absolute favorite thing to like order if it's on the menu is any type of burger. Oh my goodness, I love burgers. Don't even get me started on burgers. And I'm the type of person that like I instead of having like a side of fries with my burgers, um, I tend to order like a second entree just to have that second burger. And this is so bad, but whatever. It is what it is. I'll usually ask like the waiter or the waitress, like instead of having, I don't want two sides. That's why I'm ordering like a second entree for myself. Like, can you not? I don't want the second side. Just hold it. Like, I'm not even asking for a discount. I just don't want the extra food. And so like sometimes the server will be okay with it, be like, yeah, that's cool, and they do it. But there's been a couple times like the server like insisted that I have to get the second side. It's like, hey, like nobody here that I'm with like wants the fries or the salad or whatever, and like why would I be eating a salad anyways? I'm ordering two burgers. Like something's not right here. And so yeah, so burgers is my favorite, like outside of Egyptian food. Oh my goodness, yeah. hmm Like any type of burger, like it's not even it doesn't even have to be like, doesn't matter what it is. Like it could be like a classic American cheeseburger, it could be a mushroom and Swiss, it can even be a turkey burger, it could be a veggie burger, whatever. As long as it is a burger and it's loaded up, like sign me up for two, sign me up for three, four, just sign me up for all of it. Uh, CalWest55 is asking, do I plan to ever produce a written cookbook? Yes, I do. And when I do, it will feature nothing but Egyptian food and culture in it. Let's see what else people are saying. User 645 is saying, Khalas is cute. You're lucky to have found your niche. Okay, Khalas. If you're going to say Khalas, you have to include the okay. It's okay, Khalas. Not just Khalas. Because if you're just saying Khalas, you're just saying enough. You gotta, the okay is crucial, because that's when like the hand, that's like what prompts and initiates like the hand movement. Like anytime you're watching any of my recipe videos, like I'm doing, whatever I'm doing, saying whatever it is that, one of like somebody's commenting. And, when I finish saying whatever it is that they're saying, that's when I drop whatever it is I'm doing. I say, okay, khalas. So you gotta include the okay. You gotta include the okay. And thank you, user645, for being my number one viewer right now as we speak. Appreciate you. Hopefully you don't take my yelling personally, and you can see the comedic side um, and intent behind it. Dev Duvi is asking, where are you from inside Egypt? My family is from Cairo. Calico Kitten is saying, I had Dhammeya, and asking about the spelling. It was delicious. So the spelling that I usually go for Dhammeya is T-A apostrophe A-M-E-Y-A. Dhammeya. Bulldog Mom, welcome back. It's been a while since I've seen you in the comment section. Well, I mean, at least like in my Q&A, like this style of live, it's been a while since I've done uh, this type of live, but it's good to see you in the comment section. And you are saying, do you have any hobbies like golf, fishing, or painting? All right, golf is no. Fishing is no, and painting is no. Um, in terms of hobbies though, like in all seriousness, my favorite, like my happy place, like my absolute happy place is going to the movie theaters with a giant bucket of popcorn, and even though it's not healthy, a giant pop or soda based on whatever region that you're in. Um, and whatever other snacks. So being at the movie theaters, watching, any new release movie on the big screen, even if the movie ends up being, a terrible movie or a flop, like that is like my absolute like favorite thing to do. Like that is my happy place. I'm also a people have their polarizing opinions on this next thing that I'm about to say, but it is what it is. I'm also a big wrestling fan, like WWE style wrestling, that AEW, um, or for like old school wrestling, like WWF. Excuse me. Um, so I do enjoy watching wrestling as well too. Um, so yeah, it's yeah. hmm Kale was 55 is asking, do you plan to ever produce a written cookbook? I think I already read this comment. Yes. And the answer is yes. And when I do, it will feature nothing but Egyptian foods and culture, and also like Egyptian drinks as well. And once I tackle, um, my plan is like once I tackle everything that I look to accomplish in terms of like Egyptian food and culture, I plan on moving on to the next endeavor. I don't want to be like a content creator who, for the rest of my life I'm just cooking food, because if you really pay attention to um, a lot of content creators, I don't want to be one of those people who starts creating, like I don't want to start making stuff up, for example, like, or like, for example, like Dubai chocolate is trending and has been trending for a while now. And I tried the Dubai chocolate bar and it's really not that impressive. It's more just a hype. But like now people are putting it in everything. Like people have adopted it into, in baklava, or with like chocolate chip cookies, or with, brownies, or with taif and all these things. It's just, I don't want to be a person who starts just making things up just to make things up to get views. Like I'm not with my content. Take it right now. My focus and my goal is to share Egyptian food and culture. Definitely produce and publish a cookbook in the future. And once I tackle that, I can move on to a different genre outside of food. One thing that I've always wanted to do is so I absolutely love public speaking. Like love public speaking. Like put me on stage, give me a microphone and put me in front of a crowd, like in front of a live audience, and just watch me shine. Just watch me do my thing. Um and I love comedy. I'm very witty. I'm very quick witted. I think really fast on my feet, especially with my comebacks. Like as you see with like my OK Khalas, and that's just like a glimpse of it. But when it comes to like that live interaction, I don't mean live in the sense of what we're doing right now because this is digital, right? Like live, like that person to person, face to face interaction, that is where I thrive. That is where I shine. That is where I feel at most peace, most comfortable with myself. So I've always wanted to pursue um, stand up comedy. I think it would be. um, I think I could truly do well with it. Uh, not only because of the me being with my sarcasm, style of humor, and all of that, but also I I think what makes for good comedy is being able to tell a story. You don't just want to sit here and crack jokes. Like I'm not the type of person, like if you tell me a dad joke, I'm probably honestly going to yell at you. Like there's not going to be an okay khalas or anything like that. Like I'm probably straight up going to yell at you for telling me a dad joke because they are not funny. I'm sorry if when it comes to jokes, if I can Google it to find the pun, I'm sorry, it's not funny. It's not original. It's not funny. Like what truly makes a good joke is being able to tell the story, is being able to put the person like that you're telling the joke, is to have them feel as if they were there when it happened. And if you are able to accomplish that, then your joke will hit every single time, unless the person doesn't have a sense of humor. If that person doesn't have a sense of humor, then I'm sorry, that's on them. And they shouldn't be at a comedy club anyways. um uh, just a quick side tangent. If you ever hear people complaining, from a comedy club, they should not be going to one anyways. Like if they get offended from your jokes, they should not be going. Uh, so with that being said, so once I conquer everything that I need to do in terms of like Egyptian food and culture with my social media, um, I do want to pursue uh, I do want to pursue like live performances in terms of stand up comedy. I think it would be. I would also even consider like I don't know if I would want to do this full time though, but I would also even consider doing like on stage performances for like educational purposes and inspiration, and like inspirational speeches, things like that. Because a lot of comments that I get, especially with like the few talking videos I've done, like especially when it comes to my vision, a lot of people, uh, like where I shared my story about my vision, um, a lot of people did comment saying, that it was very inspirational with my words, um, and the message that I have behind it and what I'm trying to teach, and for people to be strong and things like that. So I would consider doing something like that as well too. But I think I don't know. I still definitely have time to think about it and to plan things out while I continue to conquer my goals with the Egyptian food and culture side of things. And even, as I branch out and uh, into these new endeavors, I still will remain being the Egyptian cook. That will continue to be my username, forever and ever. So that definitely won't change. So yeah, I don't even know on how we got onto this. Um, but yeah. Okay, Ali Omar is saying we look very similar to each other. He commented it twice. So like he must be really convinced that we look similar. Let me make your profile picture a little bit bigger so I can actually see you. I don't know, guys, if you can see his for those of you who are in the lobby right now, if you can see Ali Omar's profile, because he's making the claim that him and I look similar. I'll leave it up to you guys. Let's see what else. Melly is saying, isn't a burger with no fries blasphemy? No comment. Uh, Kilwis is celebrating, saying "yay" with a red heart. I don't know. I kind of went off earlier, so I'm not sure what this "yay" is in reference to. Always we know you. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I think I got lost in translation in in my storytelling in comparison to the comments. Ardega is asking, what is the national dish? Koshary is the national dish for Egypt's national dish. I'm planning to be making it sometime in the coming week. It's essentially like every carb that you can think of is pretty much in this dish. So it's rice, brown lentils, pasta. You can use like spaghetti or elbow macaroni. In my case, I'll be using elbow macaroni. Chickpeas. Some use chickpeas, some don't. So the chickpeas is usually hit or miss, but I love chickpeas. Um, and then tomato sauce and a lot of fried, like crispy fried onions. So it's just carb on top of carb on top of carb on top of carb on top of carb, and it's amazing. It's incredible. Let's see. Nikki agrees. Yes, love the movies. Nikki, what's the last movie you saw in theaters and what did you think of it? Sophia is asking, are you Egyptian for real? You're just gonna get the look. Can you speak Arabic? أنا ممكن أتكلم عربي بس العربي بتاعي مكسر عشان أنا مولود هنا في أمريكا، فأول لغة اللي أنا اتعلمت لغة الإنجليزي. So basically what I just said right now, for those of you who do not understand Arabic, I don't even understand my own Arabic, but for those of you who do not understand Arabic, I said I do speak Arabic, but my Arabic is broken uh, because I was born here in the US, and the first language I learned essentially is English. Can you make, let's see, Pierre is asking, can you make a dish dedicated for our President Sisi. What type of dish are you referring to? Assalamu alaikum to LB. Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for joining in. Let's see. Kale was 55 is asking, what do you speak on in public speaking? Do you do stand up? Your vision video was clear and sweet, helpful. I appreciated it. Uh, and you're also saying, yes, I look like that Ali and I look like cousins. So I would do a lot of public speaking back during my undergrad, and also when I worked at the college. I would do a lot of public speaking, like in front of, for my undergrad side of things, like in front of classmates, from working at the college, like in front of students. So I essentially made that transition. So I would do a lot of social events and volunteer events, but I would also do like some educational events as well too. So I would do public speaking in front of students, leadership activities and things like that. I would also do like public speaking on. I remember I had put together this. It was like a public speaking on public speaking. This is actually what the number one fear that like most people have is public speaking. So I put together this like educational like workshop for students to go to, and to teach them like tips and tricks on how to improve your public speaking. And one of the most important things when it comes to public speaking in any capacity, whether you're doing it for education, for comedy, whatever, it doesn't matter what the topic is. It's just the matter of public speaking. But one of the most important things that people get wrong is your breathing. Um, so a lot of times when people are nervous, they start to breathe with their chest. And when you breathe with your chest, you naturally increase your heart rate and kicks in, your adrenaline kicks in, and your heart will be racing like crazy, and you might start sweating and all this, like a lot of bad vibes like can spiral out of this. So instead of breathing with your chest, you breathe with your stomach. You'll be a lot more relaxed. You'll like, and when I say like you breathe with your stomach, like there's a difference. Like when you breathe with your chest, you'll see a person's chest expand, but when you breathe with your stomach is what expands. So just being in control of your breathing and making that flip, making that switch from chest to your abdomen, your stomach area, will naturally cause your heart rate to go down. So you're more in control of, you're in a calmer place, you're more in control of yourself. Your adrenaline is at bay, and you don't have to worry about having, whether it's your hands start shaking or your legs start shaking. Like with everybody, it's different when your adrenaline kicks in. Everybody has like a similar but different reaction. So breathing would be one of the things that I would one of the top things that I would teach, and I would actually do breathing exercises with the students. And one thing that I would do, and a lot of people would laugh at first because it may look silly. I would tell them, you want to be able to breathe in with your nose and out with your mouth. And as I would, explain this, I would do an upward hand motion to symbolize like breathe in with your nose and then out with your mouth. And then I would like flip my hand how I just did, in with your nose and out with your mouth to give that like calm, like visual, that visual that this is supposed to be an exercise, a breathing exercise you do to help calm your heart rate. And when you have them, when you calm your heart, when you calm your heart rate like that, you're in more control of what you say, how you move, what you do, and how you present yourself. You're more aware and more in control of oneself. So that would be the number one thing that I would teach in terms of for when it comes to public speaking. Uh, Mally is saying LMAO, you don't look similar. It's an edited photo of you. Okay. Let's see. Karen is saying a little bit similar. Okay. Oh, Kale was 55 is saying yay on your cookbook. Thank you. I appreciate it. Karen is saying LOL. Nikki watched the Minecraft movie. Okay, I heard a lot of mixed reviews of that movie where critics are not so much liking it, but then, kids are obviously liking it. So where do you fall on the spectrum when it comes to the Minecraft movie? Did you like it? Did you not? Like, how would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 without giving any spoilers? Moatman is saying your live is very delayed, just to let you know. I don't think it's delayed. I think it's just, my pace of reading the comments is what's delayed. Um, I'm not just simply, answering yes or no to each of the comments. So I think my live is for the most part like on par with you guys. But in terms of me like addressing the comments, there's usually like that 1 or 2 minute, like I'm usually a couple minutes behind on your comments. Muhammad Ali is saying a flower. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Um, Karen is saying I had to laugh when someone asked if you were really Egyptian. And then Nikki is saying 7 out of 10 for the Minecraft movie. Okay, so you enjoyed it then. And going back to Karen with what you said that you had to laugh when someone asked if you were really Egyptian. Okay, I get a lot of people who ask me that, and to be honest, like to me, I think that that's such an ignorant question to ask somebody. That really is. Um, and it's mostly coming from people who are within that ethnicity as well. And that's what makes it like so ignorant and offensive. Like you're questioning somebody's culture and ethnicity. Like who are you to do that? So anytime somebody asks me that question, I don't designate it with an answer because of how ignorant it truly is. Um, so yeah. I don't know. It's just like because like I've even had people who like in the comments section, where I prepare whatever Egyptian food, whatever Egyptian dish, and because I did it differently from how their family makes it, they question whether or not I'm Egyptian. And it's just like, okay, like just because we make the same food differently does not make me any less Egyptian than you. So that's why I don't designate anytime somebody asks me if I'm truly Egyptian, I don't give them a yes or no answer. I essentially just give them the look, like if I'm live. And then if I'm not live, I don't respond to their comments because of how ignorant those comments truly are. Noor El Haya is saying, lovely beard. Thank you, Noor. I appreciate it. It does need to be trimmed like a little bit, just like maintained. Um, I haven't done, with the exception of like my sideburns and my mustache, I have not trimmed any of this down here for since September. So it's been for like 8 months now. Yeah, it's been 8 months, just wild. So like my beard is just really wild. It's okay though. It is what it is. Karen is saying right. Everyone has their own family traditions. I agree. Hmm. Very true. Switching over to YouTube for a moment. 3ZR virus is saying, you know Arabic. Yes, I do. Mr. Cisco is calling me Captain Egypt. I think it might be because of the shield back there, but that's actually Captain America. And then Free Lady is saying, this guy rules. So funny and adorable. Thank you, Free Lady. I appreciate you. Let's switch back over to TikTok comments. All right, let's see what's going on here. Nomadic Soul is saying, haven't seen you on my FYP in a few weeks. Glad to see you. I haven't posted in about in a couple weeks. Last week I was busy with a doctor's appointment for my eyes. And I'm going to be working on a video update for that. Last week was a little bit rough. It really was. And this week I was planning to work on some new recipe videos, but I've been sick since Tuesday, so pretty much all week. Today's the first day where I've actually, had some sort of energy. My voice is still not at 100%, but I figured, I'd go live and, because it has been like almost 2 weeks now since I've posted a new recipe video. But thank you, Nomadic Soul, for tuning into this live and commenting. I appreciate you. Let's see. What is Noor saying? Oops. Noor is saying about the beard that is very sunnah and elegant. Hope that's okay to say. And I'm new listening. I know a lot about Egyptian. Very cool. And there was nothing wrong with what you said, to be honest. I don't know why you felt like it was not okay for you to say what you said, but I appreciate it. Let's see here. Who is next? Nikki is saying, food is even different in Cairo versus Alexandria, and I love the food in Razadbar area. I'm not familiar with that area, but yes, Cairo versus Alexandria, there is a difference. Like even with Tahmiya versus falafel, or even for kibda, like the way beef liver is prepared, it's completely different. So like yeah, for example, like a lot of people, so like I shared not recently, I want to say like several months ago, give or take, I don't remember the exact date when I shared a recipe video for beef liver, but a lot of people have been asking they want like an Alexandrian style beef liver. It's similar, but it's different as well. So even within the same country, they're just based on the region or the city that you're in, there's a difference in how you prepare the same food. Kale was 55 is saying, glad you are feeling better. Please take care of yourself. I am trying my best. I did drink another cup of Yansun earlier at the beginning of this live. I'll probably make another cup of tea like later on tonight. Let's see what else. Arson Crow is saying with your recipes, I know it's a meme, but it's lahma beef or lamb. What's the word for the other? So lahma just means meat. It's not specific to beef or lamb. Um, so anytime I'm saying lahma, I'm just referring to meat in general. Megs is saying, for how long have you been, have you been speaking English? My whole life? I don't know how else to answer that. Noor is saying, I'm making Hijrat to Egypt soon, can't wait. Um, or can't do pricey or polluted, overcrowded areas. Okay. Please let me know if Fayoum or Mahdi may be good places. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you in terms of my knowledge on geography, like in general. I'm not the greatest at it, but I do know like people in my family who are much better at with like all the good places to stay at. When it comes to in general, um, I'm not the greatest when it comes to travel advice or any of that. Um, but if you send me a DM, I'm more than happy to help. I could reach out to my family and get more information on all the best places for you to stay at. Karen is saying to Noor that I lived in Mahdi for 10 years with a smiley face. Nikki is saying that Ras Al Bar is a small city west of Port Said on the water. Manda is saying, hey, back to you, Manda. Nikki agrees that Mahdi is very nice. Mansoura is a beautiful place also. So with my last trip to Egypt last year, I stayed in Cairo for most of the time. And then my last night there, I went to the Beled and stayed there. And the Beled, that part of my mom's side of the family's from is from Tanta. So that's where I stayed. So Cairo and Tanta, those two cities. Muhammad is saying Bardi Tanta. Very good. Tanta has great farming villages. I agree. I absolutely loved it there. That's actually, if you watched my Fatir Masharatit video, that is where we made it. It was a lot of fun. hmm This is my first time on your page. Welcome to my page. And if you go to send me a DM for like more information, of where to go, or just like in like generally speaking, Instagram and my WhatsApp are the two best places to send me DMs. I still respond to DMs here on TikTok, but their messaging system is not the greatest, especially for like sending links and that type of stuff. So Instagram and WhatsApp are the two best ways to communicate with me. It's all linked in my bio. You can find all that information on my website, theegyptiancook.com. I'll check it out. I'm into off-grid and organic farming. Yes. The life and culture there is just like completely different, especially if you live here in America. When you compare the two, it's completely different. Karen is telling Noor that her husband is from Tanta. Very cool. Lost MD is asking if I was raised in Egypt. No, I was actually born and raised here in the US. I've been back home to Egypt 5 times now in my life. Most recent one was a year ago. Thank you, Shawnee, for just joining. I appreciate you and welcome to this live. Karen, Kareem, and Mally, thank you to the three of you for being my top 3 viewers on TikTok. Appreciate all of you. Lost MD is asking, but my parents are from Egypt, though. Yes, that is correct. Welcome to Sheila, who just joined live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Muhammad Ali just yelled at me saying, "Okay, khalas." And Sheila was kind and said hi. Hi to you too, Sheila. Welcome to my live. Noor just kind of yelled at me by saying, "Khalas, Meshi." It's you gotta include the okay, because the okay is what initiates the hand wavement that gives you the okay, khalas. So Noor, it's gotta be okay, khalas, Meshi. Um Sheila's asking, is this my first time live? No, I go live. I go live. So I've done like a Q&A like this about 3, 4, 5 times now. I do it like once a month, give or take. And then with all like my recent recipe videos, I go live like behind the scenes as I'm recording the recipe videos that I post to my social media pages. All right, so it's telling me the battery needs to be charged. Let's see if I can reach it from here. Well, there we go. Lost MD is asking if I make American or Egyptian cuisine. I make Egyptian cuisine. Every now and then I might throw in like a non-Egyptian food. but for the most part, most of my current content is Egyptian cuisine and culture. Lost MD is saying, this is the first time I have seen you live. Oh, wow. The last time I was live was when I made, I have to look at my, where is it? Nope, that's not it. Last time I went live was when I made, the hawashi about a little shy than like about 10, 12 days ago, roughly 2 weeks ago, let's just say. What was the last time I went live? Last time before that was like a few days before that. I made taro root soup. That recipe video is also on my page. I also went live when I made the kunafa, when I made the amr al-din, when I made the licorice root. Did I go live for the licorice root? I don't think. No, I didn't go live for the licorice root. I was live for the clarified butter. I was live for the bid with basturma, the eggs with the basturma recipe as well. So a lot of my recent recipe videos I did go live for, like a behind the scenes look. And if you missed any of those, they're all on my YouTube as well. So you could if you're not on my YouTube, you can go to my YouTube to see all my previous lives. Lost on these thing. I know you make Egyptian, but like cooking for yourself. When I'm not recording, so like one of my go-to like meals when I'm not recording, I'll just make chicken in the air fryer, like chicken thighs or like chicken breast. Like I regardless of which one I do, I'll go with boneless. I'll season it up, then I'll bread it, and then put it in the air fryer. Then I'll usually pair it with either like potatoes or broccoli or greens of some sort, like one of those three things. It's usually like broccoli or green beans more so over potatoes. But that's my usual go-to like meal when I am not recording. There's nothing Egyptian about it. It's just simply chicken and vegetables. Is chicken and greens. I guess you can call it. SC Rodham is saying, love your videos, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you and your support. Nikki is asking, can you make a whole fried fish on a video? Yes, I can. It's actually on my list to make samek matli and samek meshri as well. It's on my list of foods to make that I've yet to share a video for. Rodham is saying there's minority of people who are, yes, but that's with any. Oh, don't engage with that idiot who's trying to gaslight you guys, making the racist comment. Don't respond to him. Just ignore him or her, whatever. Just don't. Seriously, guys, don't engage with those people because your silence will hurt them more than anything else. But the more you respond to them, the more they can easily gaslight you and all of that. And the best way to put out that fire is to cut off their oxygen supply. And the best way to cut off their oxygen supply is to completely ignore them. It's at least what I do when I do my lives. I completely ignore them. They don't deserve it because I'm not here to talk smack or any of that type of stuff, any of that negativity. Let's see. Where did I go? Where did I go? Cowboy and uh, Cowboy and Bandit's mom. Full username, by the way, is saying absolutely love your content. I appreciate you. Rodham is saying, and going back to Cowboys and Bandits mom, I'm just taking wild guess based on your username, that you are probably in one of the southern states. I best educated guess, I would say Texas. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Rodham is saying, considering, I'm not going to read this because this is going to that idiot that was making the racist comments. So once again, guys, don't engage with the ignorant ones like that, please. Rodham is asking, can you make the traditional kofta with charcoal? So I do have, but it's like a vegan adaptation of kofta made with charcoal. I do need to make one with real lahma as well. But yes, Rodham, I can do that. Lost MD is asking, in reference to like the whole fish. So Lost MD is asking, why keeping the head or the tail? I never get why they leave the head when making fried fish. There is like a little bit of like meat in there, you know, based on the type of fish that you're making. Um, I think some of it has to do with presentation as well. I'm not sure on the exact reasoning why, with like certain recipes and certain fish, that it's kept whole. It doesn't bother me personally, to be honest with you. Like I don't get freaked out when I see, you know, like the fish's head or the fish's tail. That doesn't bother me, but I can understand why it would be bothersome for some people. Al is saying, love your videos so much, friend. I appreciate you, Al. Thank you for commenting and joining us in the live. Zero World. That's an interesting and cool name. Username, I should say. Is saying, Khalas. I say that to my students. You're a star with me. Zero World. If you're gonna say the khalas to your students, you have to include the okay. It's okay khalas, because the okay is what initiates hand wave, like the motion of the okay khalas. So you can't just say khalas. You gotta say okay khalas. Um, I don't know. I feel like I have to do like a like write and put together like a educational video on the proper way to okay khalas, and when not to use the okay khalas. Um, Now that I think about it, there is not a time when not to use the okay khalas. It's always a good time to use the okay khalas, because at any given point in time there are people who deserve to be yelled at. Let's see. Just scrolling sent a bunch of roses. Thank you, just scrolling, for all the roses. I appreciate you. Hopefully you're still not just scrolling and you're still tuned into this live. But thank you for being here. Uh Lost MD is responding to Zero World saying, Egyptians have a lot of catchy phrases. Okay, khalas is one of my catchy phrases, that's for sure. Let's see. Do I play video games? Oh man. So I used to play like Call of Duty, like back in the day. It's been years since I played Call of Duty Live. I used to play Call of Duty Live like all the time, like way back when Modern Warfare 3 was the newest game. So like back in 2011, when that game was like fresh and hot. And I played like some of the ones like after that, but like it's been, I don't know, like four, like at least 3, 4 years since I've, put my Xbox to rest. Call of Duty, and I would play Battlefield as well. And then any of the Batman games, those I would play. What else would I really get into? I had an Xbox at the time. I also at one point bought the I forget what it was called, but it was like a Sega like collection, I guess you can call it, where it had like 20 Sega games, I think it was. But like it was adapted to Xbox, like all in one disc. So I would play that because it had Sonic the Hedgehog on it. And that was like one of my favorite games way back in the day when I had Sega when I was a kid. Um, but yeah, but like it's been a while. It's been years since I've really played um, video games. At my friend's house, I did play what was it called? The new Spider-Man game. One of my good friends, he has a PlayStation, and we play the new. He has the new Spider-Man game. And I told him when we were hanging out, I was like, man, I really want to try this because I used to have well, my brother had it. My brother had a PlayStation, and he had the Spider-Man 2 game, and that game was a lot of fun. Like a lot. We had, well, the Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2. And Spider-Man 1 was a lot of fun. 2 was even greater fun because you actually got to, web swing around the city and do all the fun stuff. Um so recently I did get to play the new Spider-Man game at my friend's house, which was a lot of fun. But other than that, like I really don't play too many video games. So like every few months I might, if the occasion calls for it. Cowboys saying I appreciate you more. Cowboy and Bandits, I should say, saying I appreciate you more. Kansas, okay, very good. Hello from Texas, but Chris Barker is saying hello from Texas. Welcome to my live, Chris. Thank you for joining in. Let's see. Uh, just scrolling, sent a lot more roses. Thank you. Just scrolling for all the roses. Thank you for still being in this live. I appreciate you. That is, excuse me. I got tongue tied there. Neda Yusuf started following the host. Thank you, Neda. I appreciate you. Rodham is saying thanks, man. Can't wait to see it. Me too. I really can't wait. You're referring to the either the fish or the kufta. It was the kufta with charcoal, right? I think that's what you were referring to. What you commented in on earlier. Let's see. Zero World is saying, my students love you. They laugh. I'm quite sure your phrase will be very popular. Um, oh, that's funny. It's kind of funny that you're showing it to your students, and I really do need to put together like the proper way to do the okay khalas, to really like get it trending with people, and like for people to always have like a point of reference on how to okay khalas and when to use okay khalas, and like even the tone, because you can't just say okay khalas. Like no, you gotta say it like with your chest. You gotta mean it. So you can't just be like okay khalas. No, you gotta be like okay khalas, and like the rapid like hand movement, like there's a science behind it. It's my own science. Okay, so like in this case, I'm principal. I'm the instructor. So I really do need to put together an okay khalas an okay khalas recipe video, I guess you can call it, the proper way to okay khalas. And because there really is like you can't just like you can't yeah, it's just yeah. Hmm. Yeah, pretty soon everyone's gonna be saying okay khalas. Nada is asking, have I been to Canada? Yes, I have been a lot of times actually. um Most recent time, even though it's a long time ago, was in excuse me. It was in 2018 or 19. It was one of those 2 years. I went to Niagara Falls for about like 4, 5, 6 days. Before that, like we would go there a lot. Like when I was a kid, like every year it would be a family trip. We would drive to Niagara Falls every single year, never failed. And sometimes we would go to like the Toronto and Windsor area, but then we like it was mostly Niagara Falls. That was our go-to every single year, like throughout like elementary school, like during those years, we would go there a lot. Lost MD is asking if I made a loaded rice recipe video. Um, it depends on how you define loaded rice. I have made like I guess you'd call it like Egyptian fusion food. That's at least what I called it in the video. Um, where I took Ruz Muhammad, which is like an Egyptian style baked rice, and I layered it with chicken thighs, and I baked it all in the oven. And then I paired it with I made this green sauce out of yogurt, like a Greek yogurt base with cilantro and garlic, salt and pepper, and lemon juice, or not lemon juice, lime juice. And I drizzled it on top once once it was fresh out of the oven, like after I sliced the piece out and plated it and everything, and it was out of this world. So it was not like 100% purely Egyptian, but consider it Egyptian fusion food because it's taken aspects of the rice is Egyptian style, but then the way the chicken was made not Egyptian style. So but it was really good. That is on my page. I made it like a little over a year ago. If you send me a DM on either Instagram or through my WhatsApp, I could easily send it to you if you don't want to scroll and find it. Chris Barker is saying, love your videos. Want to make one of the recipes soon. Chris, which recipe do you want to make soon? If you do not know, that is okay. I can help you. I can help make a good suggestion. Sam is saying, bruh, it's just word. What? What word are you referring to? What do you mean it's just a word? Zero World is saying, I'm from Oklahoma, so my accent gets in the way. It's okay. Keep on trying. When it comes to language, just keep on trying. It's okay. Oh, Lost MD is replying to Sam saying it's his signature, so I think we're referring to the OK Khalas. Zero World is saying you need shirts made. You're on the shirt saying that. Sam is responding to Lost MD saying my bad. M is saying Sam. So what it's so funny and make me laugh. Oh. Sam is telling M to enjoy it, bro. M is responding to Sam saying, thanks, man. Hope good for you. Zero World is saying, oh no, what just happened? Zero World is saying, my students want to try dates. What do you recommend? I mean, if you've never had dates before, I would recommend you just try it like for itself. Like, but if you don't buy the pitted dates, make sure um because you can buy dates from the store like one of two ways. You can buy them pitted or not pitted. If you buy the pitted ones, you don't have to worry about the seeds. But if you don't buy the pitted ones, there will be a large seed in the middle, and it's really, really, really hard, and it could easily break a tooth or teeth. So make sure, so you split it open with your hand, remove the seed, and on one end of the so just pretend I don't have any dates right now. But just pretend that this is a date. So split it. So at one end, there's going to be like a not like I'm just gonna call it like a stem, not one that comes out, but just like a stem. You're gonna see like the texture. It's going to be a little bit harder. So remove that, and then open up the date and remove the seed as well before you eat it. I did recently make a dates smoothie as well. That recipe video is on my page. I made it about a month ago. I made it actually the very beginning of Ramadan. So if you actually want to make something with dates, I would recommend that. Um, it's essentially just bananas, dates, molasses, milk, blend it all together, and you drink it. It's absolutely delicious. Raji's asking how I feel about roast sharia. So out of all like the rice, like different styles of rice to make, roast sharia is usually my go-to. To be honest, I absolutely love everything about it. Just the aroma that you get from the fried sharia. For those of you who don't know, sharia is Arabic for vermicelli, so it's vermicelli rice. The aroma you get from frying the sharia or the vermicelli is just out of this world amazing. And I love everything about it. Chris is asking what's a recipe, what recipe is good intro to Egyptian culture. I would highly recommend, oops. Um, I would highly recommend first and foremost that you don't keep on crashing into your desk, especially twice in a row. But on to your question, a good intro for Egyptian culture. I would recommend you make Egyptian goulash. It's really difficult to find somebody who will not like it. Um, Egyptian goulash. So that recipe is pinned to the top of my TikTok page. Um, it is essentially a crispy and savory phyllo meat pie. Uh, so the phyllo dough, it's made with phyllo dough sheets, which is the same thing that is used for making baklawa or baklava. It's the same exact dough, but instead of it being sweet, it's savory and it's layered. So each layer of the phyllo dough sheets is brushed with butter, and then you layer it, and when you get halfway through the amount of feel those sheets that you have, you add the layer of the ground beef, or as I call it, lahma. Lahma is Arabic for meat in general. It's not specific to beef, just meat in general. So you season the lahma with like diced onions. So you fry up the diced onions, you season it, you add the lahma, the ground beef, I should say. Add your seasonings, salt, pepper, coriander. Some people add paprika. I've also added oregano, nutmeg you could also use. But salt, pepper, and coriander are like my three go-to, like staple seasonings for the lahma. And you just want to cook it just enough to brown it. And then in that middle layer of the phyllo dough sheets, you add the lahma, the ground beef that you just cooked. And then you continue the layering process of the second half of the phyllo dough sheets and applying butter to each layer. Then at the end, once you layer it all, you come in with an egg wash and you pour it over the top and you throw it all in the oven. You bake it until the top layer becomes golden brown. It takes roughly, like at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, like roughly 25 to 30 minutes for it to bake. And the result will be a crispy and savory phyllo meat pie. The top and bottom, the outer layers will essentially be that golden brown, crispy texture. And then the inner layers, as you get closer to lahma, will be a lot softer and just melt in your mouth. Goodness. And it's a family and friend favorite every time that I make Egyptian goulash. Um, It's one of the first things to disappear off the table anytime it is made. So I would recommend you make Egyptian goulash. Video is pinned to the top of my TikTok page. If you want a more in-depth look to it, if you go to my website, theegyptiancook.com, which is linked in my bio, and click on the recipes tab at the top there, and then click on the tab that says lahma, Lahma, which once again is Arabic for meat. You will see a more in-depth breakdown of how to make Egyptian goulash. Let's see. 0 World is saying, my students want to know if you are a full-time chef or do you have another career. So first and foremost, I do not consider myself to be a chef because I do not have that professional culinary training. I did not go to school um, to learn how to cook. Um, but this is not my primary job. I do have another job, but I'm not going to, that is something that I'm going to keep to myself. I'm not going to, it's not something that I talk about like openly um, on my social media. Lost MD is responding to Cowboy and Bandit's mom saying most Egyptian food are not fast food style. I'm not sure why that response is coming in, but okay. Um, let's see. What was your content before cooking? My content before cooking was cooking, but it wasn't Egyptian cooking. It was just any type of cooking in general with zero direction. I had no idea what I was doing, like zero clue as to what I was doing. Didn't even know how to properly edit a video or anything. What was your content before? Okay, that's just a repeat comment. All right, over on YouTube, Special Agent 31 is saying, Salam to you. My dearest brother, love the epic content. Special Agent, I appreciate you and your support. Thank you for joining in on live and enjoying my epic my epic content. Muhammad Khan is saying that I need to make Nahari and Pakistani foods. Honestly, my goal is to conquer Egyptian foods, and once I do that, move on to bigger and better endeavors. I'll leave the other cultures to those who are within those cultures and ethnicities. Tam is saying, love your recipes. You are awesome. Thank you, Tam. I appreciate you. And thank you for joining in over on YouTube. Appreciate it. Lost MD is asking why it's not getting popular in USA. If you're referring to like my content, some videos have become very popular. Some not so much. So it's just based on what the people like and what's getting pushed out and what's not. Um, the thing that I don't quite understand just yet is, like how there's like the indifference of like the same video will perform completely different on each social platform. So like with my pickled lemon recipe video that I just posted about a few weeks ago, on TikTok, it got 1.5 million views, but then on Instagram, I think it only got like 20,000 views. And then on YouTube, it only got like a few thousand views. So it kind of made no sense. And I didn't put any money into marketing it or anything. So these are all just organic views from people sharing it, from people liking, commenting, and sharing on those videos, on that video, based on each perspective platform. So it seemed like Instagram, like I've had some videos do really well on Instagram as well too, but it's just like right now, like my YouTube, that's the one where my one platform where like a video has not gone viral. I've had it happen on Instagram and on TikTok, but not on YouTube, not yet at least. You make really good recipes. Wonder if the gibna edema is safe. It is safe if it's prepared right, and it's in reference to the missed cheese. But come next year, March, that's when I will take a piece of that cheese out and prepare it and eat it. I did not use feta cheese to make that missed cheese. I used Irish cheese and Domiati cheese. You can also use feta cheese, but for the purpose of the missed cheese that I prepared, I did not use feta cheese. Nelly is wanting to show love from Ohio. Love your content and the fact we can make these at home. Nelly, welcome to you. You are my neighbor to the south. Thank you for joining in. Which of my recipes have you tried thus far? Lost MD is saying YouTube is hard. Insta needs a bit more catchy content. Uh, yeah, YouTube is like its own. Um, YouTube is like its own science in itself. Um, but my time will come with YouTube. So like, let's see. So like one of my videos on YouTube, one of my shorts actually, for when I made hummus, like I made hummus like a little over a year ago. It didn't go viral, but like over time, it gained a lot of views. So over time, it's nearly at 1 million views. Like in the year since I posted it. But when I first initially posted that video, it only got like I want to say like 10,000 views if I remember correctly. Then after the second month, after me posting it, that's when little by little it just keeps on increasing um, each month. But my time will come with YouTube. Like I'm still steadily increasing on YouTube, which is a good thing. Um, I'm still not monetized on YouTube because I have not met all of the qualifications for being able to monetize on YouTube. The one that I am struggling most with is the watch time. So for YouTube, you need, I think 1,000 subscribers. Here, let me actually open it up right now and give you guys real time data. All right, so to monetize on YouTube, you need at least 1,000 subscribers, which I have. I'm currently at 32,500 and change subscribers. So thank you to YouTube, to everybody on YouTube. And the second thing that you need in order to monetize on YouTube, you need one of two things, one of these two things. Either 4,000 hours of valid public video watch hours, or 10 million views to your shorts in the last 90 days. So either 4,000 watch time hours, public watch hours for your videos, and videos on YouTube are any of your videos that are greater than 3 minutes long. So I need equivalent to 4,000 hours in the last 1 year, or 10 million views of shorts in the last 90 days. And this data updates every day, I should say, not every year. So currently I am at, for the shorts views, so the shorts are any videos less than 3 minutes long, I am currently at 213,000 in the last 90 days. So I'm nowhere near the 10 million threshold. But for the valid public watch hours for your videos, so any of your videos that are greater than 3 hours,